Hey everyone, TJ here. Hope you had a good weekend. Today's reading Genesis chapters 28 and 29 and Mark chapter 11. A lot going on in these readings, but we're just going to jump into the verse I'm going to focus on tonight, and that is Mark 11:25. Jesus says, "And when you stand praying, if you hold anything against anyone, forgive them, so that your Father in heaven may forgive you your sins." So when I read that, I think, yeah, sure, piece of cake. But then I go back to this conversation I had with a small group of mine one time about forgiving people. And sometimes you have to forgive people more than once, more than twice, more than 3, 4, 5. You have to forgive them a lot of times, because every time you think about something somebody did wrong to you, you got to forgive them for it. And it gets hard because naturally you just want to hold a grudge. And I've had a couple of times in my life where I have felt really wronged, and that person or those persons never apologized for what they did to me. And so it's very hard for me when I think about those instances to think in my head, Lord, I forgive this person. And even though as much as I do not want to forgive, and I would rather hold on to a grudge, because still when these instances come up in my mind, like, they still hurt my heart. And it's hard to move on from it. And sometimes, you just have things that happen in your life and people that come into your life that you can't forget in a negative way because they made such a bad impact on your life. So when we have this discussion in the small group saying you got to forgive them over and over and over again, like every time you think about it, I'm like, nope, I forgive them one time, I'm done. But then you have to think, I don't really deserve the forgiveness of Jesus, because he knows I have sinned a multitude of times and am well past deserving of forgiveness, because we sin consistently over and over again, even though we know some of the things we do, we shouldn't be doing. So if you have anybody in your life that has done you wrong in the past and you've forgiven them, but then it comes up again in your head and you don't forgive them, the Bible calls you to forgive them all over again. And that's okay, because Jesus forgives us over and over and over again. That's all for today's reading. Tomorrow is Genesis chapters 30 and 31, Psalm 11, Mark 12. See you tomorrow.